Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to Akim out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. And this lesson is going to be entitled Snap Benefits May Not Come. 2026 is not looking good for you women. Okay. SNAP benefits may not come. 2026 is not looking good for you women. And we'll see exactly what happens come November, because they're saying that, after October 16th, they will stop issuing they may stop issuing, or there may be disruptions in the SNAP benefit money, right? Or it may be late, or whatever the case may be. And I hope that it's shut down completely. I pray and hope that it's shut down completely. I pray and hope that all these teats are cut off this year. I pray that it's cut off this year. Okay. Or at least the beginning of next year. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in the time now where Yahweh Shai is about to bring judgment upon the proud people in these proud times. Okay. So, that's going to sober you guys up, because these people are completely proud against the Heavenly Father. Okay. These women are super proud, and this is going to really affect you women on a high level. And yeah, man. So the men of the Lord, we're looking forward to this, man. This is not bad news for us. This is actually great news, So anyways, I'm going to play a couple videos.
SNAP benefits may be delayed because of the ongoing government shutdown. SNAP, or the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, helps scores of families put food on the table. Officials with the Dare County Department of Health and Human Services say they got a letter from the federal government warning November benefits could face disruptions, affecting thousands of North Carolinians who depend on those benefits. Jeremiah Beatty joins us in the studio with more at What's at Risk. Jeremiah, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Dana, there is a lot of confusion. Leaders are trying to learn what the government means when they say disruptions. Does it mean benefits won't arrive on time, or not at all? I spoke with the executive director of Beach Food Pantry in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, who heard about the notice and is already preparing to help. But she says if benefits are delayed or reduced next month, it won't just hurt those who receive them. It could reach beyond SNAP users. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Resources received this letter from the federal government warning food and nutrition benefits could face delays if the federal shutdown continues. The notice creates uncertainty for food pantries trying to support those in need.
Know that the folks that are receiving these SNAP benefits are vetted and that they're, typically the most vulnerable.
Elizabeth Silverthorne is the executive director of the Beach Food Pantry in Kitty Hawk. She is already hearing panic from families.
Those folks are legitimately scared that they're not going to be able to have, food on their table and feed their kids. And, for seniors, they're not going to be able to eat.
Silverthorne.
Yeah, so that pride is being melted away, okay, through that fear, okay? And that's all the doing of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And, sometimes they, Esau pump fakes with these things, and they always have things in the news. They're always constantly throwing things in the news to basically shock you constantly. But a lot of times it's things that have been happening, happens every year or happens often. And but when they put it in the news, they make it seem like, it's something new, it's something unprecedented. But the thing with the SNAP benefits, if it were to stop, right? If they were to stop the SNAP benefits for even a month, that would be unprecedented. I don't remember a time of hearing that happening in recent history. And how would those people feed their families? Okay, because that's what has been holding these certain families together, especially these women. Okay, with these single mothers. All right, so this is Isaiah 32 and verse 9, and it says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. for the vintage shall fail. And like I said, I feel like 2026 could very well be that year where they start to really have serious trouble. Okay. And it says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. And the Heavenly Father could start it off before the end of this year. Okay, could start November, going into next year. You know, it's all the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, right? It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Yeah, so the vintage is, that's basically, your future, what you think is going to come in the future. That's all going to fail, man. Your plans, the American dream, that's done. Right? Verse 11, it says, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. That's going to be a time of mourning. It's not going to be a time for pride. Pride is finished. Okay. The Lord is about to end the proud times. Okay. He says, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Okay. Let's look up the word teats. Okay. In the Hebrew, it's shad. Okay. And it says breast, bosom, breast. What comes from the breast? Milk. What does the milk do? It nourishes. Okay. So that nourishment that the government is giving you is going to be cut off. That which is sustaining you. That's what the SNAP is doing. That's what the child support is doing. That's what these different government benefits are doing. They're nourishing you, so that you can be sustained, right? Because they don't work. All right, the majority of them don't work no serious hours. If they do work, to qualify, I think Trump might have changed certain things where they have to work a bit more to qualify. But okay, you work 20 hours a week. What the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? The hell is that? The average person is working 40, 50 hours a week. So you're living at ease, man. Okay. So let's go back to this video, because that nourishment is stopping, man. Eventually it's going to stop. Whether he stops it now this month or he stops it in 3 months from now, it's going to stop. We're coming to the end of it. And the cruel Lord is the guy to do it. Okay? The cruel Lord, DJ Trump, is the guy to do it. He is the guy to do it.
Says in Dare County alone, 1,100 households and about 1,900 SNAP. And
they prove they don't care about you and Dubs, because look at all you so-called black women that got laid off by the government. Okay, over 300,000 of you. Right? You were the one that was most laid off, so that's a sign to you of what's to come, man.
Users would be at risk if cuts happen in November. But she adds even those who don't rely on food assistance programs are even struggling.
We live in an area where they make more money than they would need to qualify for federal assistance, but they don't make enough to survive.
Her food pantry is working to ensure people not only around Kitty Hawk are covered, but communities as far as Rodanthe don't go without. Shoppers in Currituck County say they are already seeing changes at the grocery store. Some are worried about talks of more programs on the chopping board.
Understand steps have been taken to cover the military and all, but they're not covering everybody that needs to be provided for.
It's a concern.
Yeah, well, you see, and a lot of these Trumpster Edomites, they voted for their own demise. And I'm happy. I'm glad that that's happening to them, because now who can they blame, right? Yeah, the only one they could blame really is going to be the leader. Okay, at the end of the day, yeah, they're going to try to blame Jake, but really they could only really in reality blame the leader. Okay, when all those things fail. So it says, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Upon the land of my people shall come up. Well, that's pretty much it on that. Okay, that's pretty much it on that. All right. And I want to get another video or a couple other videos on from TikTok. Okay. Mm. And things like this is gonna lead to Isaiah 4:1, man. Remember that the dream that brother had where the single mothers were the main ones in the dream that was begging for for men to take care of them. Okay. They're gonna be, hey man, it's about to get very dark for y'all, man. It's about to get very dark for y'all. All right. And what was happening in the brother's dream? They were getting rejected. Okay. They were getting rejected. Okay. And there were certain dudes that were saying in the brother's dream that, yeah, I can't take you with the kid and you got to leave the kid behind. And the woman left the kid, the children. Right. And it's going to get so bad eventually that y'all are going to eat y'all children, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get y'all's families together and have a big family meeting about how the holidays is motherfucking canceled. Yeah, cancel all of this shit. Everything is canceled, okay? Don't go out there buying all of these gifts, all of these presents. Don't go out there buying all of this. Furthermore, you need to start cutting down on your spending and stop buying unnecessary stuff, okay? Because the only way we're going to affect these people is to hit their pockets.
I hope brothers can hear this. I mean, okay, yeah, the desktop is open. Okay, good. I was just making sure. Okay, Salakia. Okay.
They don't give a damn about us, all right? They done suspended SNAP benefits for the month of November. They said, hey, states, we ain't got it. How you ain't got it? How you ain't got it? But you're sending money to other countries. You're sending money to other countries and you're funding their food, you're funding their health insurance. Meanwhile, the government is shut down about an argument about health insurance.
You see that? So yeah, because they're sending that money to these different places. Recently they sent it to Argentina to bail them out. While you're saying you may not have enough money for SNAP. Well, how does that make sense? You see, this is why the scriptures say that, all the hands of the laborers shall be upon them. They're going to see that this is all a big game, and they're playing with people's lives. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It says all the hands of the hands of the wicked. Hands of the wicked. Hand of the wicked. Right. This is Job 20 and 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Right. Speaking about these elites. All right. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. That's dealing with the laborers, man. They're getting ready to rise up against the government, man. They're getting ready to rise up against these wicked rulers. All right. And when that word labor or wicked rather, in the Hebrew is aimal, which goes into the laborers. All right. The working class. Okay. And if you're upper middle class, you're working class, man. Yeah. You're about to be, first of all, there's about to be no middle class, man. The middle class is being done away with. Okay. Y'all are struggling just like someone years ago who was considered below the poverty line, man. That's how y'all are living right now. All right. Because of the prices, your dollar's not as powerful. A lot of you were being replaced by AI. So hey man, hey, everywhere you look when it comes to this system, people are suffering. Okay, the farmers, they don't even have they're not even getting their welfare, their subsidies and things of that nature, and they're suffering, right? He messed up the whole soybean market for them and other markets, right? So it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good for the American people, man. And it's only going to get worse. This is just the beginning of it, man.
rumor going around that there's a possibility of SNAP benefits not getting paid out for November because of this shutdown. My understanding is that this will be a state-by-state basis.
Your understanding is incorrect. It's just that some of the states have sent out warnings now and some of the states didn't bother to do it. This is from Pennsylvania, and they were letting people know that there will be no SNAP benefits for the month of November. Starting August 16th, SNAP benefits will not be paid until the federal government shutdown ends and the funds are released to Pennsylvania. And it looks like that's going to be all states, not just Pennsylvania. States were warned about the November SNAP benefits. The Secretary Rollins had tweeted out this warning, and it also sent notifications to all the states. They also sent a letter on October 10th. Whether your state decided to tell you or not is up to your state. But there's not currently sitting right now, unless they were to open up and quickly, which nothing ever happens quick in the government, unless they were to open up like this week and quickly push that funding through, okay, you're likely not going to see your benefits. And even if you did, it's probably going to be late, which means you probably won't have it in time for Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, you're out here.
Are you using your food stamps to buy pumpkins to decorate for Halloween?
Those pumpkins that you bought run anywhere from $3 to $5. You had those three, so that's what, $15. Then you were going to go to Aldi and buy a big one, which is probably going to run you $7 to $10. About $20 worth of pumpkins is what you bought. Pumpkins that you're not going to can or eat, and I don't care what the hell you say in your videos, you're not going to do that. What are you going to?
So anyway, so at the end of the day, man, suffering is on the way. That's the point. So let me get on Revelations. Hold on, let me get Revelations, the 6th chapter. I could keep it on this screen. I'll just get Revelations, the 6th chapter. This is Revelation 6, in verse 5, and it says, "And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, 'Come and see.' And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat upon him had a pair of balances in his hand, which represents judgment. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." So we're coming to a time where food is going to be very, very valuable. All right, people are not going to have easy access to food. You see, this is a siege that Esau is doing upon the people. All right. And that's going to cause, people to go into a beast-like nature. That's why it says that because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. Let's get that. 2nd Ezra, man. This is just the beginning, man. Hey, man. And when you women get what you get, you're going to, hey, that's that great humbling for you. But there's more to come. Okay, even when that begins, the great humbling for you women come, it's just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 12. It says, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn." Yeah, the farmers, they're mourning now. "For their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation." There's going to be worse weather conditions to mess up their crops. The cruel Lord already defunded. He already defunded the weather, the agency that basically warns them of when bad weather is coming, right? And what happens is they actually, once they get warned of those things, they have to get warned in advance, a good time in advance, so that they can cover up the crops they need to cover up, get their livestock protected, and all these different things, so they can protect the crops that are there. But since they defunded that, they're getting these messages late, which is making sure that these crops are being destroyed. All right, so he is doing these things strategically too. Okay, because what does he want? He wants the people to be dependent on him. It says, "For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Yeah, it's going to be civil war. Okay, that's why they keep pushing this left-right nonsense. All right, and they always push it. No matter what happens, the other side is going to blame the other side. That's how they have it set up. All right, that's how they have it set up. You see, even with these what you would call it, the government shutdown, you know, the left is saying, oh, it's Trump who did it. And then the right is saying, oh, it's the Dems who won't open who's causing the government to shut down. So no matter what happens, the other side is going to blame the other side. So it's about to get violent. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, right? They're having the no kings protest because pretty much Trump is a king, okay? And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay, so there's going to be a time people are not going to regard the government, period. Okay, they're just going to do what they want to do, what they got to do. All right, it says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride. The city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. So it's going to turn people cold. That's why it says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And what are you women going to do in that time? You ain't going to do nothing. Okay, you're gonna have to go back to nature, man. And these men they're actually very how do you say it? They're disconnected from you women, right? They're not connected to you women. Okay, they're very disconnected from y'all. Okay, because they've seen the pride, that you've shown. Okay, and the disrespect and all these different things, and men are completely detached, man. This is Micah 7:10. It says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. That's a fact. That's what's getting ready to come, man. They get ready to be trodden down as the mire of the streets, man. You understand? That's what's coming. All right? Point blank, period, man. And Lord willing, they cut off these benefits, man. Lord willing, these benefits is cut off, man. Lord willing, doesn't come back November or ever. Hopefully, it's gone permanently, man. Along with all the rest of their benefits, man. And and may Yahweh Shem Shai protect the brothers that might be going through something because of these things, man. But we have the brotherhood, man. To hell with them, man. Hey, man, we're in the time of judgment. With that, I'll say shalom, all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKodash, the belongs to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Shalom.